Hey guys, welcome back to another online lesson. This is lesson 4.6 and we're going to begin dividing with fractions, and in this case we're going to divide fractions and whole numbers. Make sure you have your note sheet ready. Okay, first thing, I have some words to know. This is the biggest word we're going to learn. It is reciprocal. When we do math, especially when we're dividing by fractions, we're going to be looking for the reciprocal. Now here's what it actually means. A pair of numbers, when you multiply them together, you get 1. But I want you to think of reciprocal as the number flipping around. And I'll give you a couple examples. Say I have the number 7. Okay? 7 we can rewrite as 7 over 1. Okay? Still, it means 7. Now, to find the reciprocal, you just flip it around. So the 1 that's on the denominator is now the numerator, and the numerator is now the denominator. So you just flip it. Now, it makes it a reciprocal because if you multiply the 2, you get 7. 1 times 7 is 7, and 7 over 7 equals 1. So, a reciprocal, you just flip the number around. But if I have a fraction, say I have 5/6, okay? What's the reciprocal of 5/6? I flip it, it is 6/5. Okay? There's the reciprocal. I can prove it by multiply the 2. 5 times 6 is 30, and 6 times 5 is 30. 30 over 30 equals 1. So the reciprocal is numbers when you multiply, it makes 1, but think of it as just flipping it around. Now your next section here, these are typical questions that you might get asked. And it will say, for example, find the reciprocal of 2/3. Well, to find the reciprocal of 2/3, I just flip it around. 3 over 2. And there's my reciprocal. Okay? No need to simplify. You're probably looking right now saying, ooh, that numerator is higher than the denominator. With the reciprocal, just leave it be. Find the reciprocal of 1/8. Flip it around. 8 goes on top. 1 goes on the bottom. Find the reciprocal of 5. This is where it gets tricky because you have to remember that 5 is just 5 over 1. So 5 over 1 flipped around is 1 over 5. Okay? There's reciprocals. That's a step we're going to need to work on division, which we're going to kick off right now. So, to divide by a fraction. To divide by a fraction, you have to multiply by its reciprocal. It sounds wacky, right? If we're dividing, why are we multiplying? But I'll show you what I mean. Here I have find 2 divided by 1/3. So I'm just going to rewrite it as 2 over 1 times 3 over 1. Notice what I did there. I kept it, I switched it, and then I flipped it. Keep it, switch it, flip it. To divide, you have to multiply by the reciprocal, keep it, switch it, flip it. This is something we're going to talk about in class a lot. So now we just multiply across just as if it's a regular multiplication problem. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So we are at 6 over 1, which we know is just 6. Okay, let's try this one. This is 7 divided by 2/3. I'm going to keep it at 7, or 7 over 1. Switch it. Division, I'm going to change to multiplication. 2/3, flip it. 3 over 2. Perfect. So now we multiply. 7 times 3 equals 21. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. Perfect. This is improper. Now we are going to have to simplify this one. So 21 halves, I'm just going to do some math off to the side. 21 divided by 2. 2 goes into that 1. Multiply 2. Subtract, we are at 0. Drop down the 1. 2 goes into 1, it can't. 0, 0, subtract, we are at 1. So my whole number is going to be 10, and my remainder is 1. What we're dividing by is 2, so my answer is going to be 10 and 1/2. Okay. There are some problems I left for you to try. First two, we're finding the reciprocal. So you know you just have to flip it around. For these two, it's going to be 6 divided by 1/3 and 4 divided by 3/4. Now, if you're not sure how to do it, go back and rewatch the couple examples I gave. But I also want you to have in your notes the bit of advice that I gave. First one, we're going to keep it. I'll write it over here actually. Keep that first number. It stays the same. We're going to switch this one. We're going to switch it from division to multiplication. And then that last one, we're going to flip it. So we're going to find the reciprocal. So keep it is going to be 6. Switch it to multiplication, and then flip it. 3/1. Okay? Try your best. We'll talk about it more in class. Good luck.